Alrighty, what's up, guys? Hope everyone is good. Today we're going to continue, like on every Sunday, we read Siach Sarfei Kodesh, which is a sefer in Breslov, oral traditions of Breslov, things that aren't printed so much in other Svarim. We already have 3 other videos about this readings, so if you want to go check them out, you can. And I just wanted to let you know before we start reading that I launched a new website for Breslov news in English. You know, there's a lot of new travel restrictions this year. What's going to be with Uman Rosh Hashanah, different things like that. If you want to check it out, I'll leave a link below, breslovnews.com. Anyway, so let's start reading again. We are up to Sif Kuf Tes Zayin. We did a lot already. That's like 100 and I don't even know, what is that, like 117 pieces? It's 116. Piece 116. So it says over here, Rebbe Nachman sent Rav Shmuel Tepelker to rent stores in Mezhbuzh after Rosh Hashanah of the year Tov Kuf Samach Zayin, and like it's told over in sefer Yemem or Not, which is an autobiography from Rav Nachman, Simin Yud Beis, because that was the time that they would sell and rent out stores. Because they were shaykh to this paritz, who would rent them once every 3 years. So I guess right then, after Rosh Hashanah, was that time. So Rebbe Nachman sent Rav Shmuel Tepelker to rent some stores. And these stores were they were always rented to the children and the grandchildren of the Baal Shem Tov for many years, and therefore people did not go to buy them, right? And nobody ever raised the rent because everyone knew that it was shaykh to the Baal Shem Tov's family, and Rebbe Nachman is a great grandson of Baal Shem Tov, so it makes sense. When Rav Shmuel was in Mezhbuzh, he rented the stores for a very high price, like Rabbeinu told him to do. And then he put on Bigdei Meshi Kichashuve Rabban. And when Rav Baruch HaMezhbuzh saw him, who was the uncle of Rebbe Nachman, how Rav Shmuel Tepelker was going, how Rav Shmuel Tepelker was going in Bigdei Meshi, he was very makbid, and he cursed him that he should suffer this year with choyli hakadachas. See, these kind of things I don't really understand why they have to do that, but whatever. And when Rav Shmuel came back from his journey, he told Rabbeinu what happened, and Rabbeinu says, "You went like this in front of Rabbi Baruch with this type of beged?" Like he was saying to him, like angrily. But then he calmed down. But then he said, "No, it's okay." Because, sometimes when you're learning something and you don't read ahead, then you don't understand why Rab Baruch did what he did. But then Rabbeinu said that by Rab Baruch cursing you, he switched your punishment, which you were supposed to die. And now you're just going to get choyli hakadachas, which you're not going to die from. I don't know why he had to punish him from dying, but yeah, that's a pretty wild story. Okay, next piece. When Rabbeinu left Breslov to live in Uman in the year Tov Kuf Ayin, Rabbeinu moved a few months before Hashanah. He only lived in Uman for about 6 months. He lived in Uman his whole life, but he didn't live in Breslov most of his life, and he lived in Uman for the last 6 months of his life. So when he left Breslov, so also Rav Aaron of Breslov, who was the Rav of Breslov, of the town of Breslov, he also left with him to go live with him in Uman because he wanted to be close to him. And when the days of Rosh Hashanah came closer, Rabbeinu got a letter from the people who lived in the city of Breslov, and they tained in front of Rabbeinu, right, that now it's coming Rosh Hashanah and we don't have a Rav in our Kila because Rav Aaron left with you. So then they said to Rebbe Nachman, like, okay, fine, you left the city, right? We can't do anything about that. But why'd you have to take with us our Rav too? Al Kain, they asked, so therefore they asked from Rebbe Nachman, right, so that he should send back Rabbi Yaron. And Rabbeinu showed this letter to Rabbi Yaron, and Rabbi Yaron asked him, so what should I do? Should I go back and not be with you for Hashanah? And Rabbeinu said, I can't even express to you what sorrow I will have if you're not going to be here with us on Hashanah. So Rabbi Yaron asked him again, so if so, should I stay here? So then Rabbeinu said, but they're right, they need a Rav. So then he asked again, so then I should go? And then Rabbeinu said again, I need you here. Right? I'm going to be very sad if you're not here. And he kept on asking him, and it happened many times, because the derech of Rabbeinu was not to leblid letzalve shum tzivay b'dafka lasas kachach. It wasn't the derech of Rabbeinu, I guess, besides for Uman Rosh Hashanah, but when he said you have to do it, but he never told a person, like, you have to do this, or else, you know what I'm saying? Like, he would say, you should do it, but also this and that. So Rabbi Yaron decided that he should go back to the city, to Breslov. On the way back, he met Rab Nosson and Rab Naftali. They were going to Rabbeinu for Rosh Hashanah, and they said, what, you're leaving now before Rosh Hashanah? And he told them what was going on, and they said, Afal Pikin, even so, that you should stay in Uman. And they said to him, even if Rabbeinu would throw us out, right, we still would not leave Uman. It's pretty crazy. Okay, when Rabbeinu returned from Lemberg, Rabbeinu went to Lemberg after he was sick, to get cured over there. He used to go outside the city to the forest to breathe in fresh air, clean air. So one time he went there with Rav Nosson and Rav Avram Payas, Moshe Chinkis. These were like Askanim in the city of Breslov. When they went into the forest from the wagon, Rabbeinu went with Mornat, with Rav Nosson, and he revealed to him the Torah in Likut Imran Chelik Beisim and Samach Aleph, which is called Ani Yom Yildaticha. Umachmas Machlosa, and since he was sick, he went very slow and gently, because he was not able to go fast. But Rav Avram Payas and Moshe Chinkis went faster than them. And Rabbeinu gave a dugma, an example from them, to Rav Nosson. Right? See how they are going very fast. Right? They like he's saying that they can go fast, and we could do, and they're gonna they can go further what we're gonna do in a few hours, because I have to walk slow. Right? This is also shaykh to the bechin of the makom shaykh in the malam ezman. I guess you need to look at the Torah to understand what I'm saying over here. He's trying to explain a certain bechina in this Torah in the Likutei Imran from the way that they were walking. So if you want to look it up, it's in Samach Aleph in the Likutei Tinyan, which is the second part of Likutei Imran. Rabbeinu said, I'm not mixing into the Indian of Nusach HaTfilah. Right? Rabbeinu said that if you're Sephardi, you daven Sephardi. If you're Ashkenazi, you could daven Ashkenazi. You don't need to daven Sephardi to be a chassid. But he did say this. He said, this is one of the minhagim in Breslov, very few minhagim that there is from Rabbeinu, that when you finish the bracha of Yishtabach in Shacharis, tzarech leimar rak haboicher b'shirei zimra melech yuchid chei ha'olamim, without the word kel. Usually it would be haboicher b'shirei zimra melech yuchid kel chei ha'olamim. Rabbeinu says to leave out the kel. Kimoishi berkas baruch shamar sheba haschalas pezuki zimra oilam yuchid chei ha'olamim the loy teves kel. So that's something that he said not to do. One time Rabbeinu said, even though, he said to the chassidim, he said, even though you guys are anashim ksherim and good Jews, but this is not what I had kavanah for. I had kavanah, his kivanti shiuli anoshim keilu. I had kavanah that I want men, my men, to be sheinhamu Hashem yisbarach laila shemesh kechayis biyar. That my chassidim should be screaming in the forest for full nights like the wild animals of the forest. They should be screaming to Hashem. One time when they spoke in front of Rabbeinu about the talesim that they bought from Turkey, hamechunim Turkish talesim, they were called Turkish talesim. They were made behidurav. Amar Rabbeinu shetzorach l'shtadol shatalas tiyayof. Rabbeinu says the ikar of a talis is that it should be very beautiful. Ve'yivinu sheratzim Rabbeinu hoy lahachbelu ulahachmer yoser al yofei shatalis mechumas hider talis abba miturkia. Rabbeinu said it's better to have a beautiful talis than to have hider talis from Turkey. To make sure talisim are pretty. Sipru l'rav michamelnik mechutano shel Rabbeinu shaharav mivolchtek gamhu mechutano shel Rabbeinu. They told the Rav of Chamelnik, who was the son-in-law of Rabbeinu, that the Rav of Volchzik, who was the mechutan of Rabbeinu, who I think is buried in Tzfat, along with his wife, who was the daughter of Rabbeinu Miriam, they're buried in the same cave as the Basayan, if you ever make it there.
It's 11 o'clock.
Kvar miskagea arbaim shana shizku levoy lias beretz Yisrael. Oh, so he's talking about Eretz Yisrael. He said he was already miskagea, he had yearnings for 40 years so that he should go to Eretz Yisrael. Amar harav mechamelnik ma kol rash v'agu meshech arbaim shana levoy Eretz Yisrael. What's the big deal? Like why you have such yearnings? He said take money and go. And when they told this to Rabbeinu, he said, "Harav mivolchzik sheyesh legagul meretz Yisrael yiskel b'seif lias beretz Yisrael." The Rav of Volchzik, who was my son-in-law, was married to Miriam. Since he has gaguim to Eretz Yisrael, so at the end he'll be zeichet to be in Eretz Yisrael. Harav mechamel l'shamal shlichim lo'izmeisim lo yi beretz Yisrael. He didn't have the same yearning. V'kach hava sh'achach all harav mivolchzik im kol b'nei beis l'Eretz Yisrael v'dor sham kamashon. These are longer pieces this week than the other ones. When the Shachan came to Rabbeinu and put the idea of the shidduch for his daughter Sarah, for the son of the Rav Leib of Midabrana to marry Rebbe Nachman's daughter, Rabbeinu was not masking to the shidduch. And Rav Chaikel heard that Rabbeinu was not masking to the shidduch. He went to Rabbeinu and he said, all the tzadikei ador are mishadich with this guy. Now, why are you not mishadich with him? So Rabbeinu shemetivo lo yisash shal shum davar, and since Rabbeinu was never stubborn about anything, especially after he came back from Eretz Yisrael, ki yadua, Amar hari'eni roya kan chasim. I don't see a chasim over here. Nu sheyitena mechutan aseres alafim rendlich. But the mechutan should give 10,000 rendlich, and each rendel is 3 rubles. So that's like 30,000 rubles, no? Yeah, it's a lot of money. So yischum osok v'Rabbeinu hela b'kavon and kol chachas yischum kidei shlo yaskin l'zeh Rabbi Leib v'zeh yisbatlo shidduch. He said, no, fine, if they want to marry me, so then they have to give a huge, a lot of money. If they want to marry my daughter, 30,000 rubles, which is a huge amount. So Rabbeinu did it like that, so that they would not be masking to the shidduch. But the shachan kishomer zois the Rabbi Leib hiskin l'zeh take from yad. He was masking to it. Ki haya usher muflok. He was very rich. And when the shachan came back to Rabbeinu, so Rabbeinu said, "Nu zarachnu bas l'nahar hadanpur." Okay, we threw my daughter to the river. He wasn't happy with the shidduch at the end, but I think they got married. Amar, he said, I saw that all my men will be poor. B'chein pa'alti etzel Chash Baruch Hu sheyizarik b'neim a mitzel. Mitzel balaz hu kinei la'asher ha'hoylech lavush b'koiva yafa. A mitzel is like a slang term, a nickname for a rich person who goes with a very fancy hat. And what did Rabbeinu mean by this? The kavana is that there's always going to be among Anash one person who's going to be different. That he'll have money more than the other poor people of Anash, and he'll support Anash. When Rabbeinu was in the Dira of Nachman Nosson in Uman, when Rabbeinu first moved to Uman, he lived in the apartment of a guy named Menachem Engel, which is interesting. Amaru Anash, is a whole story with that also, but I'm not going to get into that here. He said, Amaru Anash le Rabbeinu le Nachman Engel toiv. For Nachman Engel it's good. Al Rabbeinu sheichen b'dirase. That Rabbeinu is living in his house. On Rabbeinu ben Yechuzah Amar Kein Kein Nachman Engel Hainu Marnat toiv moed. For me and Rav Nosson it's good also. I guess shtickle joke. Okay, now it's getting a little long over here. What? Oh, this is a wild story. Okay, this is crazy. At the same time that Rabbeinu was living in this guy's apartment, Nachman Engel, they told in front of him that this guy Nachman Engel went on business, and he said in his house before he went that he's going to come with such riches that he's going to be able to make a bridge out of all the golden rings that he brings back with him, from his house to the street. Brikkerin mit Zelberin Kerblach. So they stood in front of Rabbeinu, Rav Tovia mit Harvitza, and Rabbeinu said, Shnei advarim ha'elu einam yicholim lias biachad. These two things cannot happen together. Right? Rabbeinu talks about this in Siach Sarfei also. He says that either they take the money from the man, or they take the man from the money. And Rabbeinu, like it's brought in Siach Sarfei Siman Nun Aleph 51. Rabbeinu said, and Rabbeinu continued, and he asked Rav Tovia, please tell me, what's better, when they take the money from the man, or when they take the man from the money? And Rav Tovia says, right, that when they take he said that it's better when they take the money from the man, and the man could stay alive. And Rabbeinu was quiet. Afterwards, Rabbi Tuvia went to his house, and he met on the way his friends from his city, Ushalom al Shloim Beisai, and he asked them, like, what's going on in my house? And they didn't say anything to him. They said, why are you guys being quiet? And they told him, Shaloi Ratu Loidia Mishloim Beisai. They don't want to tell him what's going on in his house. Machmas Shenisraf Beisai V'ibid Es Kol Rechushay. Because his whole entire house burned down, and he lost all his property. And when he heard this, he said, wow, I even said this to Rabbeinu, that it's better when they take the moyes from the man. Right? Now he could still stay alive even though his house burned down. That's what Rebbe Nachman was talking to him about. Now what does that have to do with Nachman Engel? L'achar zman higiu anashim l'uman shesipru shepagdu b'Nachman Engel b'nisiyasi lebeisoi ulam chala be'emtza nesiyah. Afterwards, some people came to Uman, and they told, I guess, Rabbeinu that they met Nachman Engel on his way, but he was sick, be'emtza nesiyah, b'machla kashim oid, shehoisin nikrash ha'petza ha'shochor, the black bruise, very, very bad sickness, the Schwarzer Kretzel. It was a very dangerous disease, sickness to have. Right? That they don't wait for a refuah at all, because they don't want other people to get sick from it, and they buried him while he was still alive. Because they pushed him with sticks of iron, with long sticks into the cave, because they couldn't go next to him because they didn't want to get sick. Kedei shaloi yidabku b'machloisei. Niskayim etzel dibur hasheni shel Rabbeinu. And by Nachman Engel, it was Niskayim, the second dibur of Rabbeinu, which was shaloichem es adam al mois, that they took the money, that they took the man from the money. They took that Nachman Engel didn't have his money, and he died in this very intense way. He's buried still alive. Whoa, dude. All right, Kishinasa Pam Rabbeinu Samuch Lekfar Resha. One time Rabbeinu was going, and he was close to the village of Resosha. It's not Russia. It's called Resosha. He hipchin napach echad. That there was a worker there. A napach is I forgot what he does. Whatever. It was a silversmith, blacksmith, something like that. He does something that very strong type of work. That his little workplace was at the end of the kfar, and he saw that Rabbeinu's wagon was going down the hill very fast, right? And that one of the wheels from the four wheels that were on the wagon fell, right? And he realized that there's no way for him to stop, and that everybody in the wagon is in great danger. And he didn't know that Rabbeinu was sitting on the agala, and he did a ma'aseh mesirus nefesh. Hu nemad b'midron lamato. He stood at the bottom of the hill, and he put his shoulder out to stop he stopped the wagon. Imagine a huge wagon rolling down the hill, and this guy comes out of his little workshop and puts his shoulder out to stop it, because he was a Baal Koyach Gadol. And when Rabbeinu came down from the Agala and he saw what happened, that this guy was Meiser Nafshay, Rabbeinu gave him a bracha Shetayrich Yom, that he should have Arichas Yom. Chen Hava Shechai Lamala Mimei Shana, that he lived more than 100 years. This guy was the Doid Aviv Shal Rabbi Shabsai Breslover, Hoy Rab Shabsai Mesaper Talmud Tzipur Zeh Mishmai. He was Rab Shabsai Breslover's uncle, and Rab Shabsai Breslover told the story a lot. And let's do a few more. The Rav of Heisen, Hoy Meitzik LaAnshe Sheminu Moed. This Rav of Heisen used to do a lot of bad things to Rabbeinu's chassidim, and I guess he'd borrow them and make fun of Rabbeinu and everything like that. They would complain in front of Rabbeinu on what this guy was doing. One time, when Rav Reuven Yosef, who was the uncle of Rebbe Nachman of Tulchin, of the Tulchiner Rav, that he was telling Rabbeinu about all these sufferings that they suffer from this guy, from this Rav of Heisen, Rabbeinu said to him, "Go stand at the door of the Beis HaRav, and on any shaila that he paskins on, and if somebody comes out of the house and you ask him, what did the Rav paskin about this? So you tell the guy to go back to the Rav and say to him that Rabbi Reuven Yosef says that the total opposite is true." So if a person came with a shaila to this guy, the Rav of Heisen, and he got a psak, Rav Reuven Yosef would stand outside, and he would ask the guy, "Oh, why did he make a psak?" He said, "Oh, this chicken is kosher." He's going to tell him that it's not kosher. He said, and he says V'al ta'ayin klal, don't like check if you're actually right or wrong. Rak tismay chalai, rely on me. Rabbeinu was telling him, rely on me. He did this. Uba adam echad mitosh v'harayim meiz shelos nashim l'Rav. He came with the shelos nashim to the Rav. Who could just so Rabbi Reuven Yosef asked him, what did he paskin? And he said, no, the psak is the hefech. And he did this for a lot of other questions. V'naseh rash mizeh, right? Because people were like, what's going on here? Because Rav Reuven Yosef was a lamdin muflog, the chashu mipsakav. They were worried, like, oh, maybe there's something going on. And Rabbeinu was right, and Rav Reuven Yosef was right, and this Rav of Heisen ran out of the city from the Roiv Busha of making the wrong psak, and therefore the chassidim did not have to suffer from him anymore. He says when Rav Nachman was telling Rabbeinu about everything that went, that all the things that he had to go through just to be close to Rebbe Nachman, so Rabbeinu said to him, tafasti yischa b'mitzudasi, I trapped you in my trap. And Rav Nachman said, hold me tight and trap me more that I'm not able to go out. Alright, I think that's enough for today. Pretty good, crazy stories today. I'll be back on Tuesday with some more stories and other good things. Make sure to check out Breslov News. And everyone should have a great day and a great week.